Hey yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Got a player feature for you today with JamesBoss. He is driving his T110 E5 Tier 10 American heavy tank, and he's got a pretty good setup here with a 357. Lots of smaller, lighter tanks to hammer on with the T110, which is a pretty fantastic heavy tank, even with the recent nerfs. And we have loaded into Cliff, and we're headed off here down to the south, coming up the ramp, which is a pretty good idea for a heavy. Either go up to the middle, oh hello Scorpion, either go up to the middle and play peekaboo over the little hill there about where the T100 is, or go around the mountain. There is an option potentially where they're relatively fast, and the T110 is relatively fast. Heavy to get around this corner and get up in here, but this is probably the best idea for him. Let's see what he's doing. Now he tends to drive and just barely zoomed out right past the turret, which I don't really care for myself, but it works for some people. I usually advise to try to zoom out more though while you're driving around, so you can actually then, I'll just show you what I'm talking about, so you can actually kind of look around at what's going on. Where are my friends? Where's the enemy? Or that kind of thing. Right now all the enemy's kind of right in front of him, so it's not critical, just a small thing. He's going to come around here. He's got two guys up here in the donut. Pilot misses him. One thing James mentioned to me when he sent me the replay is that he's got pretty bad specs as far as system and internet go, so pretty bad FPS and ping. And he said, well, it would be good for me to see that, but didn't realize that till now. But I don't really see the graphics part of it, but you can tell that his ping is raging around at about 195, 200, which personally I find nearly unplayable, but lots of people better than me do well with that high of a ping and a little bit higher as well. Just something you got to get used to. He's playing peekaboo, a little reverse side scraping on that guy right there. James, I guess if I was going to sit there and duel with him, which I would probably avoid because there's three big arty, but if I was going to do that, I probably would put my front armor to him. It would be unlikely that he would even pen you. And you sort of put your side sprocket to him, or the side of your tank, and you did eat one shot you maybe didn't need to eat. And I think it was wise to move on. You're lucky the arty didn't focus you down right there, because if all three of those would have hit you, it would have gone a lot worse for you at this point. And we're going to come around here, and I thought this was a pretty good idea. He's got an E75. It's just him and an E75 and quite a stack, but they're tier 9s and tier 8 heavies, and this 110, as you will see, can do a pretty good job of eating these guys alive. And you will notice some of the technique that James uses as far as poking out and shooting. Sometimes it looks like he's really exposing himself, but I would suspect a lot of that has to do with the ping. What he's seeing and what we're seeing is probably quite different at times. That was a nice shot into that top hatch. That's something that people can take away from this. Weak spots. He didn't have to expose himself all the way around the corner to get it. One thing on your timing, your reload timing, you're kind of popping out there before it's reloaded. I would wait a little longer until I was nearly reloaded instead of, see how early this is right here? I really wouldn't have done that. It's just ate a shot because of it. The longer you're out there, the longer you give them time to aim in on you. That one was better, I would say. And at times you seem to be a little over angled. I know you're trying to really angle that front plate, but at times I feel like maybe they're going to get into your front sprocket. That was pretty good. You can see that he used that terrain right there just to barely expose his turret, or as little as possible anyway, and put a shot on that T-34. You can see he's just working these guys back and forth, back and forth. Really their best bet was to just push on him and go around him and take him down, especially when it was just him and the E75. But he's now got a T-26 E5 buddy back here. ST1 sort of has that thought in mind. He's going to go try to change his fight a little bit, which I would do too, because they're just getting wrecked right here. Another nice shot into a lower plate. The T-26 E5 is doing a fantastic job of using James as a little bit of armor, but not getting in James' way, and that's important when you're driving an echelon, working corners like this. To help each other instead of getting in each other's way. That was always going to be a pretty difficult shot right there. That was better timing, I'd say, on the reload. Nice shot right into his top turret. You really get kind of enamored of this 103. I'd actually moved up a little bit more, up to that next little So you take a hit right there. You can see that right there, that little ridge. I'd have tucked up into that so I could come around with my turret a little easier and protect my lower plate. And you really want to take that 103 out right now, which is fine, but I think you probably could have worked down the Carnarvon a little bit easier right there. Taking a gun out of the game is important. That's absolutely a fact. But you just have a really easy shot on the Carnarvon right there. You end up making it happen. But like I said, it was an easier shot on the Carnarvon. And go after him. There you go. Your buddy's doing some good work. As far as the rest of the team goes, I might be going for his lower plate right there. I mean, you're punching through it, but it's exposed, so I think you could get it. Maybe not on that one because he tucked up behind the 103. One thing I haven't seen you do is check where that ST1 is as far as looking at it. He's not lit right now, but I probably in between reloads would have turned my camera over there and see if I can't catch that guy. He's not on the mini-map, so he's hiding down below, but it's just a technique when you're fighting multiple axes like that to take a look and find out where that other guy is. He has nearly fired all of his AP. Now, James also runs Cola. You'll notice he's got a repair kit, a med kit, and Cola. He's not running with a fire extinguisher. That is not something I do. The 110E5 is not known for lighting on fire, but I'll tell you what, it drives me crazy when I do get lit on fire and I just sit there and burn. Now, a fighting skill on the crew will help that, obviously. But it's a trade-off, isn't it? Because the Cola is going to improve all the skills all around. And if you got a bunch of free ones laying around, why not? Oh, that only ended up tracking them. And this is cleanup time. Really, the only other thing I have for you, James, here is this Tiger 2 is pretty much yours to own. And you are careful about it. You're going to come around, get a shot on him, and then he actually gets one into you back. I'd have just face hugged him right there. Maybe even if you came around the corner fast enough, you might be able to ram him a little bit for a little extra damage. This is cleanup time, so it's not like you're going to lose the battle because you did that. And all they do now is hunt down the Artie. You'll see the T-26E5 finds him down below there at about K5 or so. He's going to dive off the cliff. And the Artie's going to blast the T-26. I may have called it a T-25, but the T-26E5. Ah! Actually, I don't know. That might have been a ram damage. It probably was, actually. Maybe you didn't fire. I didn't quite hear it. All right, James. Good game, man. This ends up being about a, let me check it here, 6,553 damage game with 2 kills. So JamesBoss was definitely the boss on that corner over there. I just had a couple things for you technique-wise, but I'll tell you, it worked for you, right? So if that's how you poke out and take shots, then good on you. I just think maybe you could minimize your exposure slightly there. And again, that might be partly due to ping and such as that. All right, hope everybody liked what they saw. Hope you learned something. If you did, make sure you subscribe, and we will see you.